Just one day after the tragic death of Ashley, a resident of Occupy Vancouver, and just hours after Mayor Robertson called for the end of the camp, the mood at the Vancouver Art Gallery was mournful, yet defiant.
If they try to shut down the encampment, people will defend it. I'm willing to go to jail. There's others that are willing to go to jail over this. And the reality of the situation is, Jim Chu said this in City Hall last week, that every time they do try to take down an encampment, the numbers just grow. So, if they shut this down, we'll move it to City Hall, we'll move it to 58 West Hastings, we'll move it to Little Mountain Social Housing Development. They can take down these tents, but they're not going to take down our movement.
That defiant energy carried on through the day as hundreds of protesters joined with Indigenous people to oppose destructive mining practices on their territories.
The plans of Christy Clark and the BC government to push mining and pipeline developments to unceded Indigenous territories will fail.
The second Indigenous Assembly Against Mining and Pipelines called for a rally to coincide with a pro-mining conference organized by the Canadian Aboriginal Mining Association.
There's a mining conference happening right now here in Vancouver that's sponsored by mining companies, and they're trying to bring Indigenous people together to sell the idea of opening up mines within their territory, since they know they do need certainty over the land, and they're trying to push non-treaty agreements with these native bands. But what we're saying is that these native bands have no right to sell our land. They have no right to make mining agreements with these companies. So that's what we're here to address as well.
Indigenous communities from all over the world joined the large crowd to wake up the people to the destructive reality of Canadian mining.
My name is Charo. I am from San Luis Potosí, which is an area, a sacred protected area in the desert called Wirikuta, which is Indigenous heritage land. So Gold Corp and First Majestic have got a hold of 38 open pit mining concessions that will completely destroy all the land.
In the central coast of BC, proposed fossil fuel pipelines and an expansion of shipping infrastructure threatens a unique ecosystem known as the Great Bear Rainforest. Dustin Johnson explains how people in Vancouver can help the growing resistance against these developments.
Raise awareness and to attack people in the city and show what's going on in the city where the corporate headquarters are. All these investments are being made in the concentrated headquarters of downtown Vancouver, downtown Toronto, downtown Calgary. Just to raise awareness and show solidarity with people, true solidarity. We're not trying to appropriate Native people's voices, but respecting them to take the lead in their own territories.
As the march reached Canada Place, the protesters were greeted by a large line of police and a few folks who were taking part in the conference.
We're trying to secure our resources. We're trying to make it better for our people. And one way to do that is resource development.
But the presence of law enforcement did not dampen the defiant mood of the group. The fighting spirit of the many Indigenous folks at the action re-inspired the people of Occupy Vancouver, who were reminded of the importance to defend the land.
I'm talking as an individual involved in the Occupy camp, and I'm saying that it has become almost literally, you could argue literally, a life and death situation down there, and that is how the defense of the camp will be treated. It is a peaceful movement, but we will respond when provoked. So if there is an eviction, it's not going to go easy.
For the Vancouver Media Co-op, I'm Franklin Lopez.